Hello everybody, I'm JayLeonardJ, and today we're checking out the Wampler Mini Ego 76 compressor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on the bench today, Mini Ego 76 compressor. Actually, about a year ago, I did a video on the original Ego 76 compressor, a really, really lovely sounding box. And now they shrunk it up and simplified it a little bit more for some really cool and straightforward grab-and-go compressor tones. Based around the 1176 compressor, we have a guitar version of it, wired up, sounding really, really nice. Instead of having an attack and a release knob, we have a switch, no tone knob on this one, but we do have that really cool blend switch, so you can get that modern parallel sounding compressor tone, which a lot of the cats are going for. It brings a little bit more of a naturalistic sound to your gear. So what I'm going to do today is I got a Friedman Vintage S. I'm going to be going into a vintage Fender Deluxe amplifier. Really, really cool amp. It sounds really great. I think this thing's going to push it to that wonderful sweet spot. I'm going to show you exactly how to use this pedal, how to set up that release and that attack knob so you can get the coolest compressor tones that this box can offer. All right, we're all wired up and ready to rock and roll. Pretty straightforward pedal here. We have blend. The higher it is, the more of the compression side we're gonna hear. Lower, more of the dry side. We have compression amount, we have level, and then two little toggle switches here. We have attack and release. And we go between a quick, slow, and fast attack. And we'll talk about that a little bit later as we continue on with the video. But let's start off in a nice neutral standing point. I have everything noon-ish, maybe more towards the compression side on the blend here. And I even have a medium attack and a medium release. Let's go hear what this does to my sound and my attack for my guitar, all right? This is the guitar and the amp on its own. This is the Mini Ego 76. You can really hear how that attack comes out. Everything's very crispy sounding and comes out with nice, beautiful authority. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. It really makes the guitar sound alive and the notes just jump right out of your fingertips. That's why I love compressors. Let's go play with some different settings here. I'm gonna go to a quick attack. So I find that when we have a fast attack, it's gonna smooth out everything. It gets that really poppiness of my attacks on my notes, and it just tames them out so they're more even with the tail of the note. Gives me a squishy kind of vibe to everything. Everything sounds nice, even, and squished together. Iconic kind of country sounds and stuff as well. Now, if I'm going to be doing something kind of chicken pickety, I actually like to have a different release time. I go for a faster release because what I want to do is I want to smooth out my attack. So I want the compression to come in quick. That's why I have the fast attack. But then I also want the compression to even itself out, regulate itself back to normal. So that way I can squish out my next note in time, right? If its release is too slow, the compressor won't have enough time to recover. So I'm going to go fast attack, fast and release, and then I can get something like nice and squishy, something country. I'm having trouble keeping up. Now, if I like that smoothness and that evenness, it's really, really cool. Especially if I go really high, it gets nice and smooth. And you could hear how the chords and the individual notes, they all came through with that same amount of squish and the same amount of volume. So it wasn't like when I was playing the single note stuff, it was quieter than the chords. They all stood together. Nice, beautiful blend, nice and clean. Now, if I want to get like a nice sustained kind of sound, what I can do is I can keep with that fast attack. I can go really, really compressed so that way everything's super even, and I'll elongate the tail. So I'm going to go with a slow release. Let that release really hold on so I don't start recovering too early. And then I'm going to recover some of my initial attack by moving the blend down. So I hear some of my more clean sound in the beginning, and then the tail is going to be that compression. That's how I can get that nice, beautiful, sustained and natural sound. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now let's go on the other side of things. Let's slow down the attack. We're gonna go to the slowest attack setting here, right over there. And then what's gonna happen now is, instead of everything being really, really smooth and even with the attack and that nice squishiness, we're gonna have a very pokey attack. So it's going to be really like a machine gun coming at you. It's going to have that feeling that things are brighter, even though it isn't necessarily brighter. It's going to feel brighter, and it's going to make the notes really pop out. Really in your face. I really like that for soloing because, especially when you have a very dense mix, it helps those notes really come through. Really transient, isn't it? Now, I find it comes through really wonderfully when you start getting really dense with your sound. Say you're playing with humbuckers, or say you got some fuzz. I got a fuzz pedal right over here, add some delay. If I have the ego off, what's gonna happen is the notes will all kind of bleed in together. It might risk getting a little bit murky sounding. Now we're going to add the compressor with that slow attack, and you'll see the notes come through with a lot more authority. And that is the Mini Ego 76 by Wampler Pedals. Well, that's it. That's the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to the page if you haven't done so already, and check out the links in the description below. It really does help out the page. If you want to hear my review on the Ego 76 compressor, the mini version, check it out on Patreon, as well as the original version. I have 2 reviews on there. It's on Patreon. I do all my reviews on Patreon for the Patreon subscribers, and then all my other videos are right here for free on YouTube. My question for the subscribers out there is, would you go for the bigger version of this pedal or the smaller version of it? Right in the comments section below. That being said, I'll see you all soon. Take care and goodbye.